Welcome everyone to Smash Trivia. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram, and TikTok by searching Smash Trivia to follow everything happening with me. I'll be the one with the veil green head in the profile picture. I'm so excited to get into this. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, in this series, I'm going to review everything Hulk, all the movies and TV shows. Hope you enjoy. Smash Trivia presents the Gamma Analysis. Please I want to ask everyone listening if they could please do something for me. Please share the hell out of this podcast with all your friends. For this episode, I'm reviewing an episode of the 70s Lou Ferrigno Hulk TV show titled Rainbow's End. And I'd like to take a moment to say that Smash Trivia now has a Patreon, so please check that out. We have some fantastic extra content on there I bet you'll love. The tiers are as follows. $1 a month is Hulka Holla for $1. $3 a month is Reading Room with Hulkie and Shulkie, and $5 a month is Smashing the TV. And also, I just started on Fiverr, that you can purchase a custom-made trivia game from me from definitely try and check that out. And I'm today joined by my co-host Keith. How you doing, Keith?
I'm doing great, John, as ever. First episode of the new year. This is the first one, right?
This yep.
Is the first
one.
Okay.
Well, this is the first one with you.
Yes, good point. My first episode on the game analysis in 2023. I'm stoked. I'm stoked to be talking about Lou Ferrigno Hulk again, and I'm excited to get back into this season 2 because it feels like we did the first 3 episodes so long ago. So I can't believe we're only on episode 4. I'm like, wait, huh? We barely dipped into season 2.
And we also have Betsy AKA JynandTonics. How are you doing, Betsy?
I'm doing great. How's everybody else? I'm doing pretty good. Herbally, you know.
All right.
Chilling on a hump day. It's Wednesday, right?
It is Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Hump day.
All right. So, our Hulka Holla for $1. We have Derek Sager, Gabriel Floral, and Film Critter. And before I start the review, I have both a small and a big announcement. The small one is that this is our 50th episode of the Gamma Analysis.
Woo! I love that. So many milestones. So exciting.
Oh yeah. And then also the big one is that the Gamma Analysis is now part of the Blind Knowledge Podcast Network. That means we are with a bunch of great podcasts in the same network, including I've been on before, the Cult Film Companion podcast, and also another one from there. I had on here the host of the Manic Pixie Weirdo podcast. This podcast network is going to be a big thing because they're going to be able to help with advertising and trying to get me more viewers. And a big one I'm really interested in is that Joey, the founder, told me that he might be able to help me actually be able to get some celebrity interviews on the podcast. So that's gonna be a really cool. I'm hoping that maybe in 2023 I could possibly maybe try and get like Lou Ferrigno, or maybe a little bit more realistic of there's a actor who's voiced Hulk and a lot of animated stuff on TV called named Fred Tatascavor or something like that. I really would love to have him on as well. So that's going to be super exciting for 2023.
Oh, that's amazing, John. That's so cool.
Awesome to hear. Congrats.
Did he say like maybe like always have your kind of loud inebriated friend with the pink headphones on, like for all these celebrity encounters? Because I would like talking to
I would love
Fred
to have you
or Lou. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I would love to be able to have you on for those interviews.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I've been working on setting this up to be joining them, and for probably about a month or so now, and so we are finally able to announce it now. And I waited to tell even Keith till on here so I could get his reaction to it.
Yes, I love genuine reactions. It's my favorite.
This is genuine. I am stoked. I'm so happy for you, man. This is very cool.
That's so exciting. Congrats.
I'd also like to give Betsy a moment to talk about her Twitch streams that she just recently started doing.
Oh yes,
cool.
I'm 1 in already. That's why I have the fancy microphone. I also had a fancy camera, but I didn't have enough time to set it up. So
No
I was
worries.
like, you guys aren't gonna see me. It's fine, you know.
What's your Twitch channel called?
It's same JynandTonics. I try to keep it very across the board to make it easy for people to find. But I'm doing like crafts and stuff because I'm a cosplayer, so I make a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So it's really helpful to also have like a certain time planned to do something. So I made some Morgan Le Fay accessories last weekend, which is an X-Men character. And I took her to the snow last week too to get some pictures. So can't wait to show those.
Right.
And tomorrow I'm actually gonna do like a makeup tutorial and like how I become Harley Quinn. So that should be fun, pretty fun.
Yeah,
That's who won
cool.
the poll. I was hoping She-Hulk would win the poll because painting myself green is a good time, but the people love Harley. So, you know, but it'll be
Harley is a really intricate one, so I understand why that's one that would definitely win.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some of her tattoos too. I usually do like a more classic animated look, but to make it a little bit better, I'm gonna do that. But it's every Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time because I live in the Wild West. So it's usually like 9 p.m. Eastern, which is a little later, but I'm only doing it for like a few hours. So come and hang out with me and chill. We can talk, listen to music. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that it is that you're joining in the cosplay and craft side of Twitch, because that is an awesome corner of Twitch that I love to frequent. And both me and my fiance are huge. We want to get better at cosplay. COVID kind of dampened our spirits, but right before that, we went like 2 consecutive years, and we're looking to grow and looking to get better. So
and I know.
I've told Betsy this. I for a while now really want to try and do a Hulk cosplay, and I have like a particular Hulk in mind that I really want to do.
Well, you have to tell me who it is, and maybe I can like show you some. I'll paint myself green to help you show you how to do it, because it's a little weird.
I'm pretty sure I've sent you a picture of it before, but it's in the comics is Onyx. That is actually what in the comics is called Professor Hulk, and he's Hulk. And this is a Hulk that he wears a t-shirt, and he also has bunny slippers.
I love that. I love when characters have just like one little weird accessory.
And he also shoots this gigantic gun, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, I remember which one you're talking about. That's incredible. Yeah. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I really want to be able to do that. The biggest thing that's gonna absolutely suck is trying to find bunny slippers that I can actually wear, because they don't make a lot of things like that in size 17
yeah,
shoes.
You're gonna have to get real. You're gonna just have to learn how to make shoes. Sorry. It's just gonna have to figure that out.
Cobbling is a respectable profession, and you can pick it up. There's YouTube tutorials. I mean, Twitch tutorials. There's all sorts of options.
That's the best part about cosplay too, is you always have to learn the weirdest skill to make a costume.
Yep.
You're like, why do I know how to like sear metal together right now? Oh, I wanted to make something cool. You know, like it's a DIYer's dream. It's very fun.
Nice. Man. That reminds me of all the cosplay videos I've seen for Adam Savage. Have either of you ever seen Adam Savage's his cosplay videos?
That sounds really familiar.
But it makes sense.
Or do you know who names. Adam Savage is?
Is the Mythbusters guy?
Yeah, the Mythbusters guy.
I've never seen his cosplay stuff.
Yeah, he'll go to Comic Cons on incognito in cosplay, waiting to see how long it'll take for someone to recognize him, and he'll make videos about it. It's super fun.
The guy from the main guy from The Boys did that. Randy Quaid's son, or Dennis Quaid's son. What's his first name?
Shit.
I just got the last name. Quaid from The Boys, the main guy. Huey.
Yeah.
He went. I think he went in like a Scream mask or something, and he walked around San Diego Comic Con literally all day with like his friends that nobody knows. I was
Jack
like,
Quaid.
Jack Quaid. There we go. Of course, it was the most generic name.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was done as part of the marketing for the Scream film that he's in.
Probably. I still haven't seen that. I'm the worst horror fan right now. Don't talk to me.
It's tough. It's tough to stay up on horror too, because if you want to do that, that means you have to be watching horror movies all year round, and some people just aren't into that. It's
my
fair.
brain needs a break. I love horror movies, and my brain needs a break sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, watch something happy, please.
Yes. Something light, please. Something light and
or
Like,
if you're gonna watch
no
something horror and you want it to be light, watch something like Friday the 13th, and you're gonna and from the terrible acting alone, you'll probably enjoy it.
Hey, Kevin Bacon did great in that. How dare you?
Yeah, he
put his
died
heart and
great.
soul into that.
He gargled on that blood really well.
He
Good job,
really
Kevin.
did. So believable.
Oh man, I do think it is hilarious though. How in that first Friday the 13th film, how they put Kevin Bacon's character him and another one of the guys, they both died on a bunk bed together. They placed them both there. I just thought that was hilarious, having them on top of each other. And no,
wait, what director's cut were you watching, John? They died on top of each other. I don't remember this.
the lady who had been making out with Kevin Bacon, she did not even notice. They were making out right under a dead body.
Oh, I forgot that he died. Oh, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man,
it's funny to me when people it's so easy to forget that first movie had no Jason in it, and people think that Jason was from all the way back. It's like, nope, he was sequel onward. It's like, wait, who was the killer?
Like
his
Jason.
mom?
I would say Jason is probably
the
most iconic slasher villain, and he didn't even he wasn't even the villain in his the first movie of his franchise. It's really a crazy thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into this 70s Hulk review. So let's start off with Betsy. What did you think of this episode?
I thought it was the best episode for me to watch, to review with you guys. I loved every second of it. I was like, oh my god, this is so me. I really liked it. I laughed a lot, and it was I love 70s things. Like, it's one of my favorite things in the entire world, like music, fashion, everything. So seeing all the clothes, I was like, I need people to dress like that. I need every man to wear jeans like David Banner. They're perfect. They fit him. They're good. They're not skinny jeans. I love them.
Yeah, don't call them skinny.
Jeans.
There's some definite bell bottoms being well worn in this series overall.
Yes.
But how familiar were you with the show before?
I had seen a few episodes, but I hadn't seen everything all the way through. I'd catch a few or seen some clips on YouTube. But the Superman Christopher Reeves movie is one of my favorites. So once I learned that there was more stuff from the 70s and 80s for superheroes, I really dove in. So I'd never seen this episode. I think I've seen the entire first season.
Yeah,
but it's been a minute. But I got excited, so I watched some clips too to catch my brain up, and I was like, yes.
The one thing that about this series that I of why I was willing to actually have you come on for this is because because most episodes don't really have much to do with each other. So I was like, happily, it's going to still probably make sense for you coming into this into watching it this late, and it's not close to the beginning of the show.
Yeah, very episodic, not very serial. Each episode is very much like a procedural, almost like CSI. Like, he shows up, and if you know his name and you know he turns into the Hulk, the rest is kind of, you can figure it out. There's not a lot of flashbacking or arcs that go the entire season. It's all
this was actually one of the episodes where there was some flashbacks to a previous episode.
There was. I googled a few things and I was like, okay, I'm getting the gist here.
Yeah. Arguably a flashback to a lesser important character in his backstory and love life. I think they were trying to redesign his relationship with women at the beginning of this season. We're only 4 episodes into this season, but season 1, he was a flirt. Every episode was like new person. You're like, oh man,
it very much got obvious that he had a type, as like every character was a character or that he was interested in. There would be a blonde, and there would be some kind of doctor, basically.
I'm convinced that that's all that was around the set. They were just like, they're like, come on, you all look the same. This works.
I'm a foot doctor. Get over here. Yeah.
They walked into one hospital and they're like, can we borrow all of you? Thanks. Let's go.
Oh man. But I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. There were a few things that I would change about it if I was doing the episode, but we can get into those a bit later. Or what do you think, Keith?
I found this episode fun. I found there were parts that were pretty predictable for me. There was a part that I really wanted one specific thing to happen, but I knew when it was happening. It was the burning stable scene, I'll be honest. When it didn't happen, I was like, I get it. But yeah, the episode overall was definitely on my upper half of the episodes we've seen so far. It's a lot more fun.
Definitely so much better than the last episode we reviewed.
You know what I liked about it? Okay, so we're thinking about like dated terms and like forgiving an old series for some of the mistakes that we wouldn't really do today. And when the last episode we watched was dealing a lot with mental health or disabilities, this episode had indigenous tones and cultures and representation. I was surprised that it was not as offensive as I was expecting when I heard the first episode, the second you see Logan's character, he's in a traditional headdress. Whether that was accurate or not, I don't know, and I can admit that. But he's on the front cover of the newspaper, and then you never see him in that. He's in jeans and a button up, and I was like, thank God. I was like, please don't maybe misrepresent an entire culture in one episode.
The places where it was probably it would be most offensive were both that newspaper clipping and also also when David is on the bus and the guy's talking to him at the very beginning.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that part. And I was like, please don't let this be a regular thing.
I think.
But it did show, and it made the series defend the indigenous person and kind of push back at the guy's ignorance, and I liked that. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. Cool, keep doing that. But you're expected to hear some shit from a 1979 TV show because the mysticism and the shaman Hollywood was just full of that shit. And if you watch things like Poltergeist 2 is a great example. It's random pluck,
not a good movie.
But not a good movie, not a good sequel.
I love Poltergeist 1. Poltergeist 2 is, we don't talk about her.
Yeah,
she's shunned.
Exactly, and there's a lot of reasons why, but they delve heavily into the mysticism, and they just they trivialize a lot of the like really important spiritualism of an entire culture of people, and it's like that's typical Hollywood, but we didn't see that much. It was a little bit when he was making the serum for him to try, and that's about it. It was mostly music more than anything. I was surprised.
Yeah. I was like, okay, let's just prepare ourselves to hear some uncomfortable terms. And then I was like, oh, that was handled very well. And I know Marvel didn't make it, but knowing that it came from the Marvel source material, it makes it a little bit easier because the people writing it back then were with the times, and with they knew what was happening. So not every choice was perfect, but obviously it's a little hard. But I was pretty proud after watching the episode. I was like, oh, okay, I can say that I watched this. I was like, all right.
I'm very glad that last time when I asked you to come on, Betsy, that you weren't going to be able to do it because you would have had a painful time last episode.
Oh, the Ricky episode is tough. The hard R slur.
Oh God,
that was rough to watch.
They're allowed to put that on the TV.
Yeah, back then no one gave a shit. No one knew any better. Right. And the actor playing it, the character, I knew him from other stuff and sitcoms, and I was like, what the fuck? There, it was like, it was interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy. I like this episode, so I think it was good. Can I also? I want to know. Do you have any fun facts about this episode, John, or can I share one? Because I don't want to ruin them. But I have a good one.
I have one thing that I noticed. Noticed. I didn't really find much. I didn't really find anything off of IMDb. But I did find one thing myself. Of which was that at the end of the episode when Hulk is running off in the parking lot, that is the exact same scene from when he runs off in the parking lot in the airplane episode in the first season.
Save some time. Don't make him put on the paint again. Just recut it.
I was watching that scene. I was like, this looks familiar. So I went back.
You noticed it?
Yes, I noticed it.
You didn't even Google that.
No, I didn't Google it. I noticed it. I was like, so I went back to the airplane episode in season 1, and I was like, yep, that's the exact same scene.
Damn, that is commitment, so that's John. The fact that you have that keen eye.
So that makes me feel better. Nice. But this one, okay, so I fact checked it a little bit, but I could be wrong because this is like a 50-year-old show. I saw on some wikis and some places that this exact episode was released October 13th, 1978. So I looked up the calendar. Nice. October 13th was a Friday the 13th. Nice. And the very first Friday the 13th of 2023 this year is this Friday.
Yeah.
So how crazy is that?
Whoa, nice.
So that's my fun fact. Oh. There we go. I also love Friday the 13th, so it feels very special to me. It feels very like good sign from the universe, you know?
We gotta bring Betsy back more. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I like facts. I have another one later. I'm just saving it for shock value.
I mean, with how how this is going, I think we should keep having her on for all the 70s Hulk episodes.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, maybe pre-screen a few of them, and you can leave me out of the ones that I won't be on a soapbox for.
Oh yeah,
I love soapboxing, but I don't want to ruin your podcast.
Next week, Hulk meets N-word Jim.
I'm just crying in the background.
Oh, how do I traverse this episode? My God.
Oh man, yeah.
That shit would have been cut out by now. That's the thing.
I know. That's what I'm just like surprised that nobody went back and was like, let's take this out. Just like, we don't care if the episode doesn't make sense. Let's just take this one out.
Well, when we talked about the Ricky episode, something changed the IMDb, right?
A friend and Mad Trivia John from the Mad Trivia podcast, he actually is apparently a contributor on IMDb, and so he actually requested the edit on the IMDb page for the Ricky episode.
So it originally did, even to like a couple months ago, said the hard R slur and then changed
on IMDb.
I couldn't believe that.
That was more surprising to me that it was on IMDb in the synopsis that it actually be in the episode.
That's how rarely they visited that page. Apparently, the Ricky episodes. Period. Just that one.
Oh god.
Well, it's cool that they got it fixed though. That's important. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Agreed.
I'm trying to think. One thing that this isn't like a very important thing, but one thing I kind of wish they had changed, and I kind of wish it's in the scene where David is running through the crowd. I kind of wish they had him actually bump past Jack McGee, and Jack McGee not recognizes him, and he's just like Jack McGee is just like, you jerk. That would have been hilarious.
And that's true. That's true. When I saw Jack McGee actually show up in the flesh, I was like, "Oh man, remember when he was more involved in the show?" But it got to such a joke, like a hokey point where they were just missing each other. Like I think there was one. I think the last 2 episodes of season 1, Jack McGee shows up. He's walking down the hallway, and David Banner.
Yeah.
I almost said Bruce Banner. David Banner turns to the water fountain and is somehow completely ignored, completely missed. And it's like, oh well, how many scenes like that can we get before it gets a little too silly? So
this is the
I
first
hope
version
they
of
build
sliding
up.
doors.
I kind of like how this episode Jack McGee showing up was as it felt very natural in that he was there for a different story.
Yeah, finally,
Instead
he's
of
like
it being
dropped the green monster for a while.
Yeah, instead of it being like, oh, he's here for the Hulk, even though there hasn't been really any reason for or the Hulk to make news yet.
He's like, no, he's here for something entirely different. A horse healed by medicine. Crazy.
Needs the good plants. Give me your plants.
The horse gets the perfect fruit smoothie. Fixes everything. Yeah.
He's on his quest for the perfect green juice.
We see David meets the chief. I don't remember what his name was.
Logan something. I kept hearing Logan.
Logan. Ed.
I know the actor's name. I can't remember his name. The actor's name is Ted Romero.
Okay. And then right after meeting him, I have the guy who is supposed to be riding in Rainbow's End falls off his horse, and we find out eventually that actually someone had put something different in the horse's collar or something to make him more aggressive, which is interesting.
And David finds out very quickly that is acid.
Yes.
That reaction from the body heat and the friction, it activates the acid in your saddle oil. And this horse is in terrible pain. He's such a. How the hell did they not know that, first of all? And is this the first year that oil was used? It would have been every single horse would have had this problem.
I'm guessing happened was it was swapped out like literally that day by
Mr. Kelly.
Yeah,
good point.
And that's why he didn't want to let the guy who owns the place know.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Or he was like putting dropping it in there, every once in a while to like mess up the horse, because it had been happening for like a minute. That's why they're like trying to cure it. So I think once I saw that grubby little face,
and like Mr. Kelly, like he seemed to have like a lot more plan to everything he did than you would expect. As I'm pretty sure he particularly told Logan to take Rainbow's End to the barn so that night he could burn the barn down with Rainbow's End in it. I
do remember a long discussion about who was going to take Rainbow home and where does Rainbow normally go, and it's like, no, go ahead, put her in the barn tonight, or him. I can't remember the gender of the fucking horse, but it's a horse. But it totally makes sense. I didn't even click that, or maybe I missed it when watching, but it makes perfect sense that Kelly was so pissed off about the idea, like, oh, we're not going to bother Mr. Carroll? We're not going to bother Mr. Carroll about one defective can of horse oil or saddle oil. And I guess that makes a lot more sense. That guy, this Kelly guy, Mr. Kim and Andy's dad is a freaking menace.
He's kind of like the worst.
Yeah.
Like kind of.
I hate to overuse that, but my God, this guy's we won't get into it. My problem with him obviously happens later, as well as I'm sure it does with all of you. But Jesus, calm down, Mr. Kelly.
Literally relax. He looked like he was
Hold
about to pop a blood vessel while he was yelling.
You know, one
It's like-
thing that
I know he stole millions, but like, chill, please.
Chill, dude. Chill. You've got a great hat.
You
You're
look
fine.
Sick.
Mm.
one thing that kind of surprised me at the very beginning of this episode was that we see David actually drinking beer, which I feel like I feel like he would try to keep himself from doing.
I actually wrote that
Yes, I'm
this
suffering.
episode started on a horrible start for me because David's sitting in a bar listening to the story about the racehorse, and the bartender is pouring him a beer that had the most head I've ever seen. He basically gave him half a pint of beer, and he drinks it anyway. I was like, look, David's about to have a bad episode. This is going to turn out horribly. If this is how this shit's starting, that bartender should be disbarred, sir.
Does it make him angry? Is that why he's not supposed to drink?
It makes me angry.
I mean,
yeah,
it makes
some
me
people-
angry too.
some
It
people,
depends on the day.
It does make them angry, but I'm like more thinking of like if he gets drunk and then gets angry, it could probably be really bad. Like drunken
Drunk Hulk.
Hulk.
It takes
That's a
so much more to get
liability.
Hulk drunk, though. That's the thing.
True.
So
So he
he
could
has
just
to
like
pop open the
transform
keg.
and sober up. You
Yeah.
know,
Possibly.
that'd be me. I'd have a party night and then I'd be like, "Oh, time to go home." Little Hulk
Yeah.
sober. Let's go. I feel fine.
Oh man. Oh, and we go to a party where we find out that David doesn't apparently like going to parties, which I don't know why he doesn't like going to parties.
He's a
So I'm saying
pop
this-
poopa.
This new David we're getting in this season, ever since like think about it. Did the show get criticisms from season 1 to season 2 in that hiatus, in that break? Did they go, can we make David a little bit less horny? Because they made him get married in episode 1, and then he's like afraid of this guy was a flirt in season 1.
Yeah.
He was constantly, every
Like,
episode he had a different person.
We need you to tone it down.
Like,
Bring it.
Bill,
This is a
yeah.
family show, okay? It's supposed to be for
Yeah.
the family.
and they're like, but Bill Bixby's so charming. They're like, charm translates as horn dog in some family scenarios,
Horn
and we're
dog,
trying to make this a
so-
family show. Yeah,
This is on network television, okay? Get it
prime
together.
time. This ain't late night with Bill Bixby, okay? It's the Incredible Hulk. Cut the shit. And they're like,
What a cool name, by the way. Bill Bixby. I love
right?
I want to.
It sounds like it was made by
That's
Stan
sick.
Lee.
Oh yeah.
Stan
It
Lee
does.
created
It
this guy's.
sounds like a fake person. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably a stage name. I hope. I assume it's a screen name. I don't know.
I hope it's not. I hope he's
Oh,
lived
man.
like that his whole life.
Yeah.
That's why he's so charming.
We leave the party to where David sent after the father of those who is now burning down the barn, trying to kill all the horses. It's like,
Poor
wow,
Yeah.
that got dark.
This
I know.
guy
I was
is
like,
unhinged.
are you good?
Mr.
Also,
Kelly
like-
is not only willing to kill horses,
Oh,
but then later to kill his children. Okay.
Zoinks. Also, like, I don't care if anybody ever kills anybody in a movie, but if you kill an animal in a movie,
yeah.
you are my biggest villain. I do not like you. I do not trust you. I don't care if you're the main character. I hate you now.
Even the stunts where the Hulk or Bill Bixby is trying to pull Rainbow out of the burning stable, I'm still going like, okay, I know they could have probably safely done this today with CG and a fake horse or something,
Yeah.
green screens.
Yeah.
But this looks pretty damn real, and they had the
Yeah, I
horse fall
was-
down. I know
I
that's
was
a trick,
thinking
but
about that.
Holy crap!
And like I watched this episode twice, this week, and and both times when the horse just fell over on its back, I was like, I just both times I was just like, damn. But,
Yeah. And that's like an old Hollywood thing. Like, it's the Western fan in me that's like, oh, they train the horses how to fall down. They definitely do that repeated times, and they're doing it in a way that's safe for their limbs, because I know they've only got 4 and they're all legs and they're
Mhm.
very skinny. But the to see, like, it's like riding an old roller coaster. Like you go to a theme park that has like the brand new state of the art roller coaster, and they hug you, and there's plastic, and it feels like there's a lot of grease in the wheels. And then you try one of their older coasters that are still on, and you ride that for the first time in comparison right afterwards, and you're like, I'm gonna die. Like that's what you feel like the whole time. This is what watching a scene with a horse in a burning stable in 1979 is like. So yeah.
I didn't even think about CGI at that moment. I thought about it later in the episode, but this, I was just nervous no matter what. I was it looks like fire, get him out.
Yeah, the whole time it was stressful. It was scene. One of the things I found interesting, I was surprised by, like, I would have thought that Rainbow's End, just like the other horse, or he's in a burning building, so he's scared. He's gonna try and run out of there as quick as possible. Not, I'm gonna try and stay in here.
Was the other horse closer to the door? Because I think the problem is if the flame is in the wrong direction, like you need this horse to get past that flame barrier. It's like if they're confused about what's safest, they're going to back into their corner, which is not on fire, and they're going to wait till the fire's out because they're assuming someone will put it out. But maybe they're not assuming that.
They're also not wild horses, so maybe they're just like, what do I do? Am I allowed to break the door? You know?
Yeah, should I break through this wall?
Yeah.
Another thing that I feel like would have changed if this had been made today, versus back then, when David falls on the ground, I think his shirt would have caught fire if it were made today. Versus it didn't feel like he was in as much danger based on the fact that he landed perfectly in a way where there was no chance his shirt would catch fire.
You know what I enjoyed
couldn't. What were you asking?
No, go ahead. You finish.
Because as they probably had no way of making it safely where his shirt would look like it was on fire.
Yeah, flaming clothes in general has got to be so many more layers of expensive when it comes to 1979. Like,
oh yeah.
But the main thing that I was just ecstatic about, and it doesn't happen later, but it happened in this moment. You know how much I hate it when he turns into Lou Ferrigno Hulk and then is wearing the David Banner shirt like a shawl, split into a bunch of little like fragments. He's wearing it like a little, he keeps it on like a little poncho, and he's running around. It's like, how do you not know? How do you not know it's this guy who disappears wearing the same damn materials? Somebody bring a forensics like material analyzer. Anyways, but I was glad he was like, oh shit, I ruined my shirt. Run, just throw away. And then he's just like Lou Ferrigno showing off all of his bulk for the rest of that scene. It's perfect. I wanted him to ride the horse out of the stable.
I really wanted him to. I wanted to see Hulk on a horse. That would have been
incredible. I did think it was cool though. Seeing Hulk pull the horse, though I don't know that Hulk would have enough intelligence to know how to do that.
He's got this animal magnetism, maybe, or this like bestial. That's the wrong word. Beast-like understanding.
They get each other on like a primal level, you know. They like connect. They're like, we're both angry. We get it.
I do find it funny how when Hulk is opening up the wall to offer the two of them to go out. It looks like at one point Lou Ferrigno forgot exactly what he's supposed to do in the scene because he just started waving his arm around.
I thought that too. I was like, what is he doing? Is he like maybe like clearing smoke or something that wasn't there? You know, I was like, what's going on?
They'll put this in later. I'm pretty positive they'll put this in.
It's like they're just gonna do something. There's supposed to be a smoke machine, I think. I don't know.
Wait, I think in those scenes, it only really, to me, felt actually like Hulk when they went for the close-up where he close-up after all of that stopped. He started acting exactly like Hulk was, versus before that, I feel like it might have been like harder or something for Lou Ferrigno to act while with all the fire going and there's this horse around and all that stuff. So it felt before that more like it was just normal Lou Ferrigno was pulling a horse.
It's very possible. I mean, that's a lot of things to memorize and get right in a scene with such an expense
and being
behind it.
covered in green paint because
yes.
But I wonder if maybe like him like doing like the Hulk like noises or face or whatever like would have scared the horse because usually they get like spooked easily if it's not their trainer. So maybe it's like they were like, just be calm, just don't get kicked by the horse, you know, like, keep you safe.
Yeah.
Especially if Rainbow's End was an honorary, as we know. Maybe it is an angry horse.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's several horses. We don't know.
Unlike objects, we can't make the horse be sign where if you're hit by it, you're not actually gonna get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we can make as many things stunt metal that you can bend and stunt concrete that you can punch, but this horse could kick you in the sternum. And we can't lose you, Lou.
And your life. So please be safe.
Stand at this end and try not to growl too much. He's like, I can't even growl.
No, just no facial expression either. Just stand there. The green is startling enough.
Yeah, this horse ain't used to green people. We tried to train it for a week.
Why is he so big and so green? Like, that's what the horse is thinking.
Like, please don't try to ride me.
Like he's like the horse is thinking that also like when he goes to sit down with the horse as he's turning back into David. I just have to imagine like the horse is thinking, wait, what's going on? What are you doing? Wait, why you're not green anymore? What's going on?
I just imagine like I just like an expressive Disney horse from like Tangled or like Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it's just like the fuck. Just like, why are you okay? All right.
Looking really worried the whole time. Just like, what's going on? You didn't tell me this was a thing. You're not a human.
Yeah, you're not the guy who saved me.
We finally, for the first time in the series, actually saw someone catch him as he's turning back into David. Which
this is the first time?
Surprises me that this is the first time that's happened.
I've been watching the episodes with you and I don't remember this being the first. This is the first time?
I'm pretty sure. Or the only other
Elena Marks.
Elena Marks knew him because he told her about him, and then also he told Caroline in the season 2 premiere, but no one has ever caught him before or turning back, and that's and it kind of surprises me that it's taken this long for anyone to catch him, since every time he just sits down, so someone could easily walk past and see this happening.
That's his cue. That's his like go-to solve for turning back into David. He's like, I just gotta sit down, man. Just give me a second.
I just need to close my eyes. I'll be good. Give me like 10. Okay?
I like that Logan walks up and he stares at him, turning back into David, but he's not like hyperactive disorder.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you say you have? What the fuck?
He's just like too stunned. He's just like, what is going on? Am I seeing this? Are you seeing this? He's looking at the horse. He's like, are you seeing this?
Rainbow's like,
did I inhale too many fumes from that fire?
Yeah, was that the oil, the saddle oil? I should have.
Yeah, he's like,
should have breathed less of that in. My God,
is it messing me up too? Oh no.
Yeah, they said it was acid. Yeah.
Who knows what kind? It is the 70s.
Oh, exactly. Shit, that shit would have been everywhere.
We then cut to the morning where the girl is bandaging David up. I was actually surprised at this one because I was thinking after that what happened last night that Logan would have like hid David or something. Not just let somebody else there air bandage him up. That kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I didn't even put that two together. I was just kind of like, ooh, she has a crush on him. She's being so nice. That was my thought immediately. Yeah. I was just like, oh.
And then I also had the thought of this is weird that Bill Bixby for this scene chose to hold on to her ass.
So I saw that.
I did not notice that. Tisk Bill.
What I was thinking was, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is the first interaction we have with them that's like a little more personable or personal or whatever, getting in each other's bubble. And then I thought she probably said, hold on to my hip here, because then your arm's properly out straight for me to put the bandage around it. Because there is zero chemistry from his side. She's giving him goo eyes constantly. And he is like, I'm really more interested in your dad. I gotta go.
Yeah, he's like, I have a lot of questions about everybody else but you.
I'm kind of glad that that he's not giving off really anything, because because she seems very young, and I don't know how old she actually is. So
True.
Yeah, and because I tried looking up on actually on IMDb her age, but she doesn't have any information like that out of how old she is.
Yeah, if that actress
Even
has not been acting like in the last even 20 years, I bet you it's not gonna be visible at all. Anyway.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I was getting the vibe that she was like at least 20, but also wasn't she drinking a drink at the party?
She looks to me, it was like maybe late 20s, 30 years old. She didn't seem as young as some of the other characters that he has been flirting with in season one.
At least it wasn't like the character in the second episode of the series and Aries in that farmhouse.
Yeah, it could be my own bias of like, since turning 30, I'm like, everybody's probably 30, right? Like, I don't know. I just assume when I see actors on TV, I'm like, oh, they're probably playing older than they are, or they actually are 30. But then it comes to like moments when I see lead actresses especially, or female leads that are over the age of 40 and they're in a movie today and they're the lead, I'm like, fuck yes, because that shit was so ignored and like dismissed. They're like, no, you're not gonna make it after 35. It's like it's the same thing as like having kids. They're like, no, we dismiss it. We're like, no, it's like, fuck off, okay? Amy Adams as Lois Lane forever, please. But no,
Amy Adams is incredible. I'll see any female led movie. I'm like, okay, buy my ticket. Let's go.
She's incredible. And the stuff the stuff she's done that isn't huge, like the Superman, or like I'd say even Arrival is still a big movie, but holy shit, her dramatic roles, yes.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I'm gonna watch that this weekend. Okay.
There you go. Alien movies.
Aliens, we love it.
Yeah.
One of the big three.
I wouldn't like worry so much about the age if it were like a film that came out nowadays, because I know that they have like actual rules now but back then they got away with so much shit back then.
They had unspoken rules.
There was apparently actually the past few weeks I saw an article about how two actors, or boy and a girl, they are suing for a film that they were in, and I think it was either like 70s or 60s, that they were underage and they were naked, and they were suing they're suing the movie studio for it. Good
for them. Yeah, so I hope they get their coin.
Yeah,
studios have too much money.
I'm like, and it's sad how back then there wasn't nearly as much regulation, so they were able to get away with so much shit.
Yes, we got to take care of our actors. They're important.
And I think we've probably talked about it too before, John. Like the innovation and expansion of the internet and everybody being able to share their stories has become so like let's cause more awareness of the things that could be happening. And it's like that when that didn't exist, it was like a curtain. You pull that curtain aside and you got your money, didn't you? Like, it's just people didn't care, and it was just scary.
And this is something I've talked to my mom about. My mom has told me, like, you didn't used to be like nearly as much of like children being taken or stuff like that. And like, no, there was just as much back then of children being kidnapped and stuff like that. It's just now you hear about it more because we actually are able to get awareness towards these things because of the internet.
Yeah, like it's the same argument I hear of people saying like, "Oh, gay people didn't exist back in the 60s." I'm sorry, They did.
They were all roommates. Just
or they
really
were
good
terrified.
friends.
Yeah. Or they were just like the acceptance breeds the option to come out and tell the world. Back then there was no acceptance, so therefore those gay people existed. You just didn't know it because they were afraid of dying.
It's not addition, it's exposure.
Exactly. Oh, hell yeah.
You just hear about it all the time now. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Turn the TV off, maybe. I don't know.
God, we gotta have Betsy back more. We gotta have her all the time.
Oh yeah.
I love this. Love that phrasing.
Logan agrees to start giving these treatments to David. And he makes up the concoction, and I'm sorry, but I can't get past the fact that to me this concoction looked like pee. Looked like David was drinking pee.
It definitely did, but that's also kind of what tea looks like. So that's just what it is. It's like really fancy tea, but it is chamomile, and chamomile flowers are yellow.
Okay,
and so that's why it's yellow. I also I have the ones that they talked about, the herbs. So it was chamomile, ginger, and horehound, which is a very funny name, but there's no W. It's just HORE hound. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I laughed as soon as I heard it.
yeah.
But they're all basically just like they're just basically anti-inflammatory herbs, and the horehound is a menthol that used to actually be really popular in cough drops, but it's not used anymore because one, the name, and also they just love to use some chemicals more now. But if you get like natural, like really good natural cough drops, it usually has mint or horehound in them. So I love herbs, so I was really excited about that when I heard it.
Pretty sure I got a whole pack of horehound in my
so did you end up making yourself some of this Hulk cure to drink?
If I can find some horehound at the store, I will. I'll tell you how it is. I do drink chamomile tea on the regular though, with ginger, so that's like my actual, like my normal like nighttime tea. So it does calm you down, does relax you. I wouldn't say I'm as relaxed as Bill Bick's episode though, because he's just like, he looks like he's on something else. So, like afterwards, I'm like, it's not that strong. It's not that serious.
He looks like he's on a what would you call it, a spirit journey of some kind, and then he's remembering the last woman he married, forgetting about everybody from season 1. But yes, we're sticking with season 2. It's a new journey. Okay, let's just forget about everybody before. Carolyn from episode 1 season 2, the woman he married because she thought she was dying, and she was, and he was determined to cure her, and it was like, whoa. Yeah, how did that flashback come across? Did you go back and see clips, or did you?
I got the gist of it originally, but then like after I watched it, I was like, I gotta know what that was about, because it just kept like it was like haunting me. I was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, context.
But then it made sense, and it made it like a lot sadder. I thought it was just like, at first I was like, it's like a science experiment got wrong, like that happens. But then I was like, oh no, it's a lot worse.
My biggest gripe with this show is that they do not give the first, well, I guess it wasn't the first, but the first on-screen love of David Banner, and the second in his story love, Elena Marks, does not get enough credit. This woman was perfect for him, and she died in the pilot episode. His wife had already died, and then he had the accident happen to him where he was suddenly turning into the Hulk, and then Elena Marks helped him to understand it, and then she died. It was like boom, boom, immediate deaths, and Elena Marks was just top notch. Oh my goodness, John, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and watch those because now I'm interested.
I do wish that they hadn't killed off Elena Marks, and like even though I like the like how it is of like each episode feels completely different from the last, but I do kind of wish they had tried and kept a little bit of the tone feeling like what that pilot episode was because that felt very sciencey, very Hulk-like, versus like a lot of the rest of the series to me doesn't feel like the Hulk that I've grown to know. And also with having that really cool looking lab that they had in that first episode.
Right?
yeah,
The budget went.
yeah. So and then after that pilot episode, David just has basically tried to look for Elena Marks in every woman that he was trying to be with.
Right. So okay, and he gets sent on this. And I'm putting my quote fingers up here, okay, for the listeners. A shaman sends him on a spiritual journey, and he's remembering the 2-week relationship he had with a woman who was dying. That he was trying to I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, cure me, and I'll cure you kind of relation. It lasted for 2 weeks. I'm telling you. And yeah, they got married on a beach. That's nice. Don't get me wrong. But he's known Elena Marks for years. Maybe while he was also with his wife, so maybe that'll be a little weird. But still, Elena Marks is a big deal in his life and played by such a wonderful actress. I'm just saying, I got a crush, and the crush is on number one.
If Elena Marks were still alive and still the age that she was in the 70s, Keith would probably leave his upcoming wife for her.
Upcoming.
I love the extenuating circumstances. You're like, it has to be the exact age from the 70s. That's the only kind of hall pass to have. I love it. I love it.
Honestly, if my upcoming becomes my ongoing, I'll be happy.
Like, that's all I need.
It's all I want.
I will say, I love that they made this also seem like this spiritual journey. It just like, why did you have to make it that intense? It's just supposed to calm him down. It gave him a panic attack. Why? He didn't need to see God. He just needed to sleep.
He wanted a walkabout.
It was actually this thing actually was definitely helping him though, because when he woke up previously, if he had a nightmare when he woke up, he would turn into Hulk. But this time he didn't. He had a panic attack, but he didn't turn into Hulk.
That's a good distinction.
So it was working a bit. And this is one of the things I think that I actually would change about the episode, so that is that if this thing is working, when then at the end of the episode, when David is about to leave he probably should have been like, hey, can I get like a recipe to go so I can change these dosage myself so I can continue treatments, because this is like one of the only things he's tried that's actually started working. But instead he's like, oh no, I'm just gonna leave.
No, he just runs away. He's like, I got 4 ingredients. I'll figure the rest out.
Every episode, at the end of the episode, he's just like, I gotta leave because then or Jack McGee might find out about me.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, that one guy, I gotta run away really fast. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's.
Maybe he thinks like he's like better as the Hulk. Maybe he like comes full circle and is like, wait,
that's another thing. Another thing, like he keeps mentioning like, oh, I need to get rid of the Hulk because the Hulk takes control of me, and it's like, and Logan mentions like the power of it all, and he's like, I don't want that power. The thing is, it doesn't matter if David wants that power. The Hulk, how long does it take? Can he keep going where he just is like, oh, the Hulk is something I need to get rid of. He needs to start believing that the Hulk is a hero, because the Hulk is a hero. Every time the Hulk comes out, he's saving people.
Yeah, maybe it's like a little like small little reminder. He's like, wait, I just saved somebody's life. Maybe this is a good thing. But then he's like, no, I hate it. Because he like can't be a normal person. I get it. It's like a big wrestling thing. But it is a good point that he did not get a recipe. Even like the whole one. Just like, hey, what'd you put in that? Could you tell me? Like, please.
I feel that would probably be like the really smartest thing for him to do. And it kind of feels out of character for me that he would just like be like, I'm not gonna ask you for the recipe. I want to cure this thing, but I'm not gonna do what actually is needed to do to cure it.
I honestly think it comes down to him not believing in it enough is the thing. Like, we have 3 types of Hulk episodes at this point. He's either just swept up into somebody else's drama before he has a chance to deny it, because he's just a good guy, or he's either seeking out a scientist that does experimental research that could maybe cure him, or seeking out a scientist that could maybe sedate the Hulk in some way, and it's one of those two. And I think that he just didn't feel, because he did end up hulking out, and it was a time of need. He's still not accepting the fact that the Hulk is a good thing in his life, and so he just ignores the fact, oh, he didn't sedate it. Okay, well, I'm still the Hulk. I'm still helping people. Fine, let's just
he's like,
on.
whatever. It didn't work this time. It's not gonna work.
I also find it funny how he's like, oh, I can't stay here because McGee is around out, and even though he stayed in like New York City for like 3 weeks. It's like, why are you willing to stay in New York City, the place where Jack McGee's literal office is, but you're not willing to stay here?
He realized when he did his tour of the racetrack, there were no water fountains for him to duck into at the last second. So he was like, oh shit, I'm clearly going to run into him sooner than later. This wrap up at the end was so much fast. Like, these wrap ups happen very quickly to begin with, but this one in particular felt like, oh wait, okay, so what's going on with the dad? Like, wait, how is Kim not more upset? And the horse is fine. That's great. So her and Logan are gonna marry and be happily ever after. What's going on? Like, they didn't wrap up anything. And he's like,
they were
bye.
like, here's a whole new storyline right at the end. We've been hinting to it. Let's talk about it.
Andy will never ride a horse again because he has a concussion, and his sister will take on. Yeah, I know. Wasn't it sad?
He just got like getting hammered the night before with the concussion, and they're like, yeah, get on the horse. What?
When he said he was a little warm, I was like, oh, he's got the flu or something, and is going to make sure that she rides on the day.
Yeah, I thought he had like, like the flu, not being able to like function.
Yeah, I was really glad though when his sister ought to be the one to ride and not him. Yeah,
it raises the stakes, and it made perfect sense. But then that means that Kelly is still shooting at his kid on arguably the fastest horse.
Yeah,
it's like, how is your marksmanship? Were you a marksman? I thought you bred horses. What's going on here that you're not telling us?
Did they not tell us that he was like a sniper in the army or something? Like, did we miss this or die?
I think it was
just
like,
right. My daughter will be fine.
He's crazy, and he also doesn't. I don't think cares that much about his kids.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, you can obviously he's like blinded by greed for sure.
Yeah.
The other evil green monster.
Oh my gosh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Yeah. I did also write down, I love these like kind of, I know it's like a fast wrap up, but I love these type of conflicts where there's like a last minute change that makes it like from crazy to like super crazy. You know, you're like, oh my God, he's going to kill somebody. And then you're like, oh my God, his daughter, you know, like, because he didn't want her to ride. Like, it's just that part. I was like anxious. I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? Obviously, like, you know, the wrap up, but I was just kind of like, oh my gosh. And it was like right after. And there's like a small little detail. I love details, sorry. But right when he, like, right after they, like, the next scene, right after they say, like, Kim, you're going to ride, he's walking up the stairs and the announcer announces Family Day, like, at the track. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what a little touch. I love that.
I didn't notice that, but I did notice, like, I was wondering what the announcer meant when he said that this race is for people 2 and under.
I think it's a horse. Horses are young.
The horses are young. Yeah.
I was going to say like one racetrack, like, so I'm like, I kind of know what they're talking about, but I don't watch the horse races.
My note is specifically, John, did you know that Wednesday is Family Day at San Ramos, and bring the kids and get a free balloon? Like, that's, I don't know why that stuck out to me as so funny when there's like a sharpshooter and there's like a whole plot going on, and children are there with their free balloon, so they don't care.
Like, yay, I got this thing.
Maybe this is Wednesday, so we should all just get off the podcast and go watch some horse racing.
I want a free balloon.
Yeah, get free balloons.
Give me a balloon.
That'd be great. Yeah. And did you notice, John? Did you notice the makeup slip a little bit.
Yeah,
Not even a
was
slip.
On Lou. There was a few times where his ear, and I think there was a few times where there was some hair, the hair that wasn't green.
I think so. There was like, so he
weird.
goes up and he stops the dad, throws the rifle into space probably, and then he turns because the cop shows up at the door, and behind his head the camera catches his bare skin. And it wasn't quite as hilarious as the earthquake episode with the bare orange bottoms of his feet being shown. That was very obvious.
Oh god, yeah.
We have to track it. We gotta clock that shit with her if we're gonna watch every episode.
It's
the same thing as him using the name Bishop, David Bishop. We can concur that he's gone back to coming up with new and creative names for his last name instead of Banner. Yeah,
I'm gonna take it as a hint to Kate Bishop, and everybody else can eat my dust.
I mean,
nice.
I'm going Mephisto crazy.
So so this episode is for Kate Bishop. They had a previous episode where his last name was Barton. So for Clint Barton.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
they're doing this on purpose. I swear they're just like going.
Yeah, it was probably on purpose. Yeah. I wanted to go through all the B names. Yeah,
I absolutely loved. I found hilarious. Loved when Hulk used his strength to pull the pipe and throw back the act Logan. Like that was, I think, one of my favorite uses of his power in the series.
Yeah, I like how like practical it was too, because like they can't rely on like CGI for him to like Hulk smash him, like which is probably what they would do in the MCU now, which I'm fine with. It looks cool, but I like the fact that he had to get like really creative and be like, "Ooh, this is right there, boom, bam," I thought it was very fun.
And I love how throughout the show, every time a villain has a gun, Hulk just either throws it or he breaks it. I just love that.
It makes you wonder, the ones that he throws, like who gets that gun? Like we got gun control problems in general, but like who's catching that shit?
Free gun.
It's
free balloon and free rifle. Yeah.
It honestly kind of surprises me for a show from the 70s how anti-gun the show is. I love that. It's so awesome.
The hippies were
this episode
really
nowadays.
The hippies were in their prime, late 60s, early 70s. This is the shit that's like, we're entering a decade where television was so censored that the Cosbys were the thing, and they didn't have a raunchy joke in however many seasons. It doesn't matter how the main actor ended up. It just means that the show is being censored more.
Oh man, this like how it would be really fun for there to be an episode where Hulk meets hippies. It's like maybe Hulk goes to Woodstock.
I think they'd love him. They'd be like,
that would be amazing.
One of us. Like, one of us. One of us.
There's definitely been like hippie-esque caricatures in the first season so far. Like I think the one like hitchhiker character in the earthquake episode, I think it was.
I can definitely
there's a few that are caricatures.
I get that, but I'm like particularly meaning like a particularly hippie camp, something like that.
A convent.
A
commune.
Like,
sorry,
commune. Like him going to one of those. I think that would be hilarious.
I want to see Hulk meet nuns.
Oh yeah.
They'd be like, they'd hold up their crosses. Get away from me! What are you?
Oh man.
Brother Ferrigno. Yeah, that'd be different.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Commune, not convent.
Oh, that reminds me of how there's a meme picture online of Hulk in priest clothes.
That's incredible.
Like Lou Ferrigno Hulk?
No, not of Lou Ferrigno Hulk. I think it might be either the MCU Hulk or the 2003 one. But I'm gonna look it up and share the screen for you guys.
Oh, your camera's doing that thing that we discovered before the recording.
Oh my god!
This is some Friday the 13th shit. We're coming up on Friday the 13th and the 11th.
I got nervous when I saw my own face.
Oh,
like, is that me?
see if it's set up. Can you set it up so I can do screen sharing, Keith?
Yes, I think so. Are you able to do it now?
Let me see. Just a second.
Gosh, so scared.
At least it's like live and not like a frozen picture. That's good.
It's true.
It makes it less scary for some reason. No eyeball guy.
All right.
I don't know if we're seeing the current
having trouble again. Damn.
Advanced sharing options. Yeah, it's the only one I can click. Multiple participants can share simultaneously. Hey, I think it's working.
Ooh.
Lord knows I'd smash.
Oh man, I can't see it yet.
You can't see it yet?
Oh, that is the Eric Bana Hulk for sure. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I love
it's
it.
hilarious.
I'd pay to watch that movie.
Oh yeah,
That's
that would be
strong
awesome.
chin.
Oh my gosh, like Velocipaster, but with the Hulk.
Oh god,
I still haven't seen
awesome.
Velocipaster.
You have to. It's so funny, dude.
Okay.
Oh,
I know Clinton
Have
really
some
wanted everyone to see
drinks
it.
and watch it. There's probably also like a drinking game. That's a really good time.
Okay.
It's a little cheesy.
I'm gonna look at
I like a lot of
games.
B movies, but Velocipaster wasn't for me. That one was I was just like, yeah. I didn't enjoy as much as most B movies.
I grew up Catholic, so just like seeing somebody in that costume,
I did too.
cracked me up. I was just like, I was imagining all the priests I know. I was like, oh yeah, oh no, oh no.
Oh man,
I grew up atheist, and my favorite thing to this day is like the one defining joke that I can still like Dane Cook for was when he said, "What am I supposed to say to an atheist when they sneeze on the bus? Bless you, nothing happens to you when you die." Or whatever. I was like, it's so
Nothing
good.
happens when you die. Sorry.
Nothing happens when you die.
Oh man. So see. I think what else happened this episode that we'd want to talk about.
I'm glad he has a friend in Logan.
Yeah, Logan is really cool. He might be my favorite, and I have a very fun thing.
You have a very what thing?
I have a very fun thing to show. It's like show and tell. Sorry, I know this is an audio medium, but
no, it's all right.
We can describe.
I thought it was really crazy when I was watching it. So you know the cup that he gives him the medicine in?
Yeah.
I have literally the exact same one.
Nice.
And I know it's the exact same one because it's engraved from a wedding in 71. Clinton and Pat got married in August in 1971. And so it's clear on the bottom and everything. I bought it at a thrift store like 8 months ago. So it's not even like new. It's just like was sitting in my thing and I saw it and I was like, no freaking way. That's insane.
Oh, that reminds me of the mugs that are sold at there's a soda company at most Comic Cons.
Wild Bills.
Oh yeah,
I got like 4 of them.
Oh man, I've only gone to a few Comic Cons. I haven't ended up actually buying one, but I really want to because the mugs are cool, and I really want to be able to actually drink those sodas.
It's good soda. It literally keeps me alive during Comic Cons. Like I'll forget to eat stuff, but I'll get a big old glass of soda, and I'm like, I've got some calories. We're good.
Oh man, I remember the owner of it actually when I went to it. So I was going with my mom. We had a booth set up that we were selling children's clothes at, and the owner of it actually came over and bought some clothes from us, and also I think he wanted us to like try and do something with them at future Comic Cons. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do another since we didn't do well at this one, but yeah, I really did. But I really want to.
They take a lot of cons.
When I go to a con again, I really want to buy one of those mugs so I can try all those sodas.
How many cons have you and your mom done?
We've only done one, and we did absolutely abysmally. So so we're probably not gonna go back to it anymore or the salting.
It's very tricky to rebuild and go back. But if you ever have the chance to try again, it is a learning experience.
Yeah,
It definitely takes. If you can cut your costs
I
down
really want to
get there.
onto. I don't think I can convince her to answer to.
Yeah, fair.
I think the reason why it actually ended up failing is because when we had planned on going to the Comic Con and we paid for our stuff, it was just going to be the Atlanta Comic Con. But a few months after we had paid for our booth, they announced that they were combining the Atlanta Comic Con with this horror convention that was mostly about The Walking Dead, and we barely had any horror stuff up. And
Yeah.
basically the horror convention and took over the normal Comic Con.
Oh
Fair.
yeah, that's rough.
They tend to do that. We've my fiance and I do usually 2 cons a year, one in the spring, one in the fall, and the fall one is obviously much more horror oriented. And when I started doing artwork for horror movies, it worked only in October, never in the spring. So it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna have to divide everything and plan it exactly that way, and be like, okay, the things that I know will sell in the spring maybe just came out, and then the stuff that I think will sell that's anytime horror, as long as it's popular. Like Scream, the first Scream movie was the huge moneymaker for my October con last year, was because everybody, no one forgets about that first movie, which is great.
Yeah.
And it's
So good.
and it was really hard for us because there's not much horror clothes that are made that are children's clothing that we'd be able to sell.
Very
Because that's because most children don't watch horror movies.
Yeah, it's all like, you gotta make all the custom made stuff.
Yeah, or Hocus Pocus, or like Halloween Town or something.
Yeah, all the Disney ones.
Yeah.
All the favorites.
Oh man, yeah. So trying to think what else actually I don't think there's anything else that happened in the episode for us to talk about.
Did you have a trivia question at the beginning of this one,
No,
John?
I didn't.
My goodness. Oh, wow. Okay, I am shocked. Let me see if I can find one. Keep talking and I will get back to you.
Well, also in the meantime, I do, as always, I'm going to do the announcer voice, I say. So Betsy, would you like to have me say something in an announcer voice? It's some funny thing. Just type it in the chat and I'll say it.
Ooh, I gotta open the chat. I always forget that exists on Zoom.
Oh yeah,
I'm the worst. Oh, I open it.
It should be at the bottom of the screen.
I found it. Give me like 15 seconds. I gotta think of the perfect thing.
Okay, nice.
You're gonna hate me.
Oh man, while they're working on those days, I'm gonna plug my again my Fiverr. So on my Fiverr, I'm offering trivia nights and it's and these trivia nights are trivia games, and it doesn't have to actually be at night, but basically I have three versions. One of them for $20, I will make you a 20 question in trivia game, and I'll for $25 I'll do a 30 question in trivia game, and then for $35 we'll do 30 questions in but instead of it being that you'll get a file with all the questions and answers, I will instead record myself saying the questions in my announcer voice, so you can really get a full old trivia experience, and if you get the 30 questions and announcer voice one on. So I really hope some people would like trivia games, because I'm happy to make them for anyone, and I'm happy to do any theme. These can be for your event, your house party, your family game night, whatever. So please check out my Fiverr for trivia, and other games.
So, John, you're telling me that if I have a specific party next month that was all rallying around everything Ant-Man or everything Queer Eye or everything Holmes on Holmes, you would give me like a good bulk of trivia questions for my party
Yes.
that we could just make for
Yeah,
that
so-
very specific interest.
Yes, exactly. So I'm willing to, I'm both willing to do just as one theme, or I'm happy to do multiple themes if people would like that. And I will make a whole batch of trivia questions for them, and then one person there will either have to read them out, which means that person can't play, or they can, or they can do the more expensive one where I will actually record myself saying them, and I will also tell you when to pause the recording so that you don't get your question spoiled.
That's awesome. That's a great
nice.
service.
It's better than a board game you can buy, you know? Like
Hell yeah.
actual, like personalized. I like it. And
Oh,
you have
yeah.
really good trivia questions. I
Thank
never
you.
get them right, and that's what makes a good trivia question in my mind is if I don't know.
It's the thing for me, like when setting things up, I really like to know the level of knowledge someone actually has of a subject, because as the thing is, what's super hard for one person might be super easy for another, and and I have to actually be able to gauge, because then it's because for some people will say, hey, I'm doing Marvel questions, and it's people who are really into Marvel, then the people will might I feel insulted, but I sign a question like, what is the name of the person who is Iron Man, and sign, but then another group that's not nearly as big in the Marvel, they're they might I find that to be a good question. It's a kind of that's one of the hardest things for a trivia host to be able to gauge is of what is actually gonna be a good level of questions for people.
What's like a good like level 4 difficulty question for Iron Man?
Yeah, try me. Let's go.
Hit us.
I could give you one if you don't have one. I know I have a great one.
How about in Iron Man 2? When we see near the very beginning of the film, we see a Tony Stark on his phone, and there's and one of the apps is for a particular team in Marvel Comics that has not been introduced in the mainline MCU. What is the name of that team?
Is that the Fantastic Four? I remember seeing this on like a breakdown video, and it's killing me that I can't remember the name right now because I can remember them like showing it. Oh my god!
A team?
Yes.
Is it Thunderbolts?
No.
No.
Is it?
I know it's not the Fantastic Four, so it's not Thunderbolts.
Is it?
See?
New
Good
Humans?
Questions.
I'm thinking of like really.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, Jesus.
There's so many like groups
New
too.
mutants?
Of like,
they wouldn't use the word mutants. I know that.
Is it the Illuminati?
One. Yes, the Illuminati.
Oh,
he's in it. That's
Oh
why I
my
had to think. I was like,
God.
wait a second, but he wasn't. They
And
were
I
introduced
particularly
when that
mentioned,
came out.
I particularly said for the trivia question, has not been introduced in the mainline MCU, so because of Multiverse of Madness had another universe.
That
It's the
isn't,
Illuminati.
it's not the
Yeah.
mainline MCU. So what's the crazy question you got for us, Betsy?
Oh, okay. Mine is also kind of weird. Was that from Iron Man 1 or 2?
That was 2.
This is also from Iron Man 2, so that's weird. I kind
That
of
movie's a
just gave
labyrinth.
away the answer to the question, but it's okay.
Oh, no.
What? No, it's okay. I can word it a different way. Whose car do we see in the Randy's Donut parking lot in Iron Man 2?
Oh.
Batman.
I'm gonna say the Incredible Hulk car from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
It gets introduced later, if that helps. Like we see it later, but this is the first time we ever see it, and it's not really addressed. But it's there.
Interesting.
Is it Louise's van?
It is.
Oh wow.
Oh, the vintage van. Yeah.
Nice.
I noticed that one time because I love watching Iron Man 2 when I'm bored. It's so good. I also just like being able to see Elon Musk in the back. I'm like,
Oh, God.
Yes.
a crusty
Oh my
man right
God.
there.
Crusty
It's also
musky.
I love
They had-
Ricky. What's his name? Mickey Rourke, not Ricky.
Yeah,
Ricky
yeah.
Mork.
Ricky Mork is fantastic in that one.
He's the best.
So
It's
so is
interesting
Sam
how-
Rockwell. That movie's got a
Yeah,
lot of
he's
gems.
underrated.
Yeah.
It's
I think it has some
interesting
great
how,
acting. Bad story, great acting.
Iron Man 2 has you probably would not ever see in the MCU today. Multiple right winger people in it, as you have both Elon Musk and I think Bill O'Reilly, the newscaster, appears.
Now they get fake newscasters. They're like, we can't get into that.
Well,
We
actually,
gotta hire some actors."
usually now the newscaster they use is the actual newscaster for New York City.
Anderson Cooper.
No, it's
Oh, I thought it was
a local
Oops.
newscaster for New York City, or particularly when there's when it's films and TV shows set in New York City, they have the actual newscaster for or the local news there.
That's cool. I like that continuity. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Damn, Bill O'Reilly. I haven't heard that guy in quite some time. I haven't thought about that, man. If you ever want to see a funny video of him being torn apart, it's Jon Stewart does a great job on YouTube to his face on his own show. He's just like, yeah, you're kind of an
I
asshole.
love Jon Stewart.
Yeah. Oh man. Keith, did
Ready
you have
for
a
the
trivia question?
Yes. So
Ooh, ready.
this is apparently, allegedly, according to IMDb, the first episode to feature what that continues on for the rest of the show's run.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. And I actually have looked up on IMDb, so I know what this is. This is the music for the transformation, and from
Allegedly.
David to Hulk.
I wouldn't be surprised if this factoid on IMDb was wrong, but I didn't even notice. So we're gonna have to just listen to the music and check it out on the next one and the next one. So that's crazy.
That is cool. I love all these little synchronicities.
Nice. All right. So what I'm gonna be saying, announcer voice, which Keith, you can also add something if you'd like to. All right. So first from Betsy, she wants me to say, Hulk likes to drink pee. I was trying to say that as Hulk there.
Oh, can I write something for you to say as Hulk?
Sure.
I love this.
Oh man. I have so much fun with the announcer voice thing because I love voice acting so much.
There you go.
All right. So this one the backs of of my ears are Ferrigno colored.
That was really good.
That's good. All that was missing was like the slow-mo and like you like throwing a rifle into space, like that kind of thing.
Oh my God,
bending a bar.
Yeah.
Ferrigno color.
It's so good.
Amazing.
Man. Someone needs to make a compilation of all the times that Hulk either bends or throws a gun in the show. That would
be like
great.
a perfect anti-gun video.
Oh yeah,
throw them all into space.
Oh man,
it exists already.
All right. Well, is there any final things either of you would like to say before I end off this episode?
It's not the 1970s unless they make herbs seem like really bad drugs. I love this like subtle anti-drug propaganda that we got. I was like, for sure. Don't trust them, you know.
I'll say I can't wait to see what minority gets the theme next episode.
Well, okay. Next
episode, I hope it's handled as great as this one was.
It's gonna be one that I'm actually very interested in. As next episode is an episode called "A Child in Need," and it's and this is gonna be one where it's actually gonna be where Hulk faces off against an abusive father.
Yes, a
That
child
sounds
in need.
sad.
So
Okay.
fun.
As heck, but
It
now I
will
do
be.
want to watch it because
Oh,
it sounds
yeah.
It will be
good.
sad. There you go.
Yeah,
I'd like to
it's
see that.
it's one of the highest rated episodes of the entire series.
People get hooked on Hulk.
So that's gonna be
It happens.
exciting. So happily, that's probably not gonna be something that's going to have much like stuff that's not aged well in it.
Yeah,
Because
seriously.
because even back in the 70s, people were able to admit that abusive fathers are pretty bad people.
Yeah. Hopefully Hulk just doesn't talk him down to like cuffing instead of beating or something like that.
I've actually that's
You can smack him around. You
While
just
I
can't
haven't
hold
while I
punch.
haven't
Yeah.
actually
Open
seen
hand.
the episode, I actually have seen some clips from that episode, and a lot of the clips. So Hulk throwing the guy, the father around him, and because you can't because they can't actually show much violence on screen, a lot of times she's throwing him out of frame.
That's smart because then he
Yeah.
can land on a nice pad off
We
screen.
love a good old not John Williams,
Michael
John
Bay.
Carpenter trick.
Oh
Yeah.
man. All right. Well, thank you both for coming on, especially to our guest, Betsy, and I'm gonna definitely try to have you come on again for some more 70s talk because this was a lot of fun, and having you on here.
It was
100%.
a blast. I love talking about the 70s and looking at
Oh,
70s
yeah.
clothing and wishing that men would dress like that again. You know? If anybody listening wants to know how to get a girlfriend, just dress like they dress in the 70s.
Oh god.
The wardrobe I'm saving up for in 2023 is going to be bell bottoms.
Bell bottoms.
Yeah.
I just got a
tucked
pair,
up
so everybody needs a
button-ups.
pair.
Sweet.
Keith can do a cosplay of David Banner.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Fine.
You could be David Banner. He could be the Hulk. That'd be hilarious.
There you go.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. Thank you everyone for listening. And please check out Betsy's Twitch streams. If you like this game analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcast and a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episodes. Please let me know. And if you'd like to listen to more from me, please subscribe. Many more Gamma analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Smash Trivia John, signing off.